What's up, everybody? This is Robbie. I'm here with Chris Forsberg. He's a drift guy. He's come up to ZCON to hang out with us, and he's brought a couple of cars. I'm gonna let Chris tell you about these machines he brought, because he obviously knows more about them than I do.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no, thanks, Robbie. We're having a great time here at ZCON. This is my first ZCON, and I've been to a couple other events, but yeah, just to see just so many different Zs from all over the country is really great, and we're happy to be a part of it. And so we brought out my Nissan Altamaniac, which is a VR-powered, tube frame, CAD designed, four-seater drift car, one of the first and only ones in the world like it. And we brought it out specifically to give rides and also show off a little bit about what we are capable of over at our shop, Forsberg Racing. And this is completely designed on the computer, full suspension geometry for drifting specifically, capable of 2,000 horsepower VR38 engine, twin turbos, Garrett turbos, and outside that, Recaro podium seats, in all four spots. We have the fuel cell in the back, radiator in the back, and 6-speed sequential transmission. Basically a full, ready-to-go, pro-level drifting drivetrain, but in a four-seater party package.
It's
right?
cool.
It's very fun.
I like
and then,
the party package.
Yeah, and then behind me, of course, we had to bring a Z. It's a ZCON, right? We couldn't just bring the Altima. So this is our latest build. We call it the GLT Z because we run it in the GLTC race series over at Grid Life. So it's a Grid Life Touring Cup. It's a spec series where you can run any car, but it's based off of horsepower, weight, and your tire size. And so this car, we did full carbon fiber body. We did a lot of different weight reduction modifications to it. I got it down to 2580, which is one of the lightest 370Zs ever built. And then we added the ballast back in where we want it to be, to have better balance, better control. And Brian Highcotter helped us set it up so that it is one of the fastest cars out there. We actually set a track record at Pikes Peak International Raceway with it, and we won the entire GLTC weekend at Pikes Peak International Raceway. And Brian was out here driving it yesterday, put down the fastest lap in autocross as well with it. So that's his background. He loves autocross, 10-time SCCA autocross champion, and then also got the privilege to drive the Nissan Nismo GT3 GTR. And so he has been out of the seat for a few years when they stopped running that car, and so we wanted to get him back out on the track, and so we built this car for him. And so, yeah, we brought it out, and of course, the all-new Z, the first production model here on display for the first time to the public at ZCON, which is great, to have that presence, with Nissan is really, really cool. And so to be able to sit here, next to that car and be able to see it in person for the first time, thanks to you guys, is really, really great. So.
Yeah, and of course, thanks to Nissan North America for bringing it. So you mentioned giving the rides in the party package. I like that. I like that. So tell us, how did people like it from your perspective when you were done, when they were climbing out of the car?
Oh yeah, I mean, the thing about drifting is it's like one thing to see it and like love it or hate it. It's like car going sideways making smoke. Oh, that's pretty cool. Pretty much every car commercial in the world has drifting in it, right?
Yep.
And then, but to see it live is like a little more intense. You hear the engine, you hear the rev limiter, the smoke and all the squealing tires. But then to actually ride in it. I've never seen somebody get out of a drift car and not just be full smiles, right? And so they're getting in, a little excitement, maybe a little nervousness, and when they're getting out, it's just ear to ear. And so that's specifically why I built this car, because I have had a four-seater package before. It was an Infiniti M35 that I put a V8 into, and we put 4 seats into it, and it was 600 horsepower. It was a good time. Built that car 10 years ago, though. It's still very much out there running and doing events. But I wanted to build something with new technology, more power, and something that was unlike any other drift car, because we are always trying to follow the rules of Formula Drift. But if this car is never going to run in Formula Drift, why we got to follow those rules?
Right.
So I had this car scanned and designed by a team that does basically trophy trucks, and so they will do different trophy truck designs. They'll basically build and scan the tubes into the chassis and get the car to be as wide and open as possible inside, basically burying the tubes up into the A pillars and B pillars,
right,
to have a lot of exposure for the inside, so that there is a lot of headroom for the passengers.
My son actually got to take a ride yesterday with Chris, and just like you said, he came out smiling, and he said the back seats were surprisingly comfortable.
Yeah.
So, all right. All right. So, overall, the event is ZCON. Have you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. The the event is cool. It's different than most of the other events I've done, which is it's usually one location the whole time, right? You show up and you're there, and kind of, not to say getting old, but you're starting to see a lot of the same things.
Yeah.
And so you guys are at a different track, different location each day, and I really like that because it kind of resets the day. And you know, you might see a car you didn't see before because it's parked in a different spot. You know, obviously you're in a different parking lot, different track, and so you know, getting some road race experience, some autocross time, some drag racing yesterday, and then of course the you know, the release of the Z and doing the whole parade with it. That was just really, really cool. So you guys are doing a fantastic job over here at ZCON.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. So I'm going to say thank you to Chris Forsberg.
Yes,
Appreciate you taking the time to interview us.
Yeah.
Talk to you guys later.
See ya.